Hello folks, Jason Chrisman here at JC's Bees. It's February 6th and working on 55 degrees here at about noon. Crazy for February. We should be frozen ground and possibly snow, but we got rain coming tonight, so I don't know. Just take it as it comes, I guess. So you can see the bees are out enjoying the weather. They're making the most of it, taking their cleansing flights, getting out, spreading their wings, and taking a nice dookie. That's what it is. And today I thought it'd be a good opportunity to come out here and kind of show you folks how the BroodMinder in this hive them three sensors work with the BroodMinder app, and I've got that loaded here on my smartphone. So I kind of wanted to give you a feel of how those sensors can put the information together and what it looks like on the app. So we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is load the BroodMinder app. I guess it's 1 o'clock. Okay, from here we're going to see each of the sensors. We've got between the deep and the medium on top, and we've got between the two bottom deeps. And then down here at the bottom, we've got hive scale. And then let's break down each one. The top one says it's 51 degrees with a relative humidity of 71%. We can see my signal strength with them two dots. And it's got the date and the time. And the time was the last time it was synced, and that was just a few minutes ago. But I'm going to show you how to sync it. And then if we come down a little further to the next one, we're going to see 66 degrees, signal strength, and the date and the time. This 410926, that's my sensor number. Same with up here, that would be your sensor number when you sync it with your device. But the reason that these signal strengths are only 2 dots each, you have to consider all of the wax and wood that those sensors have to go through to get to you. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and go to hive scale, which is saying 52 degrees outside because it's outside the hive. 148 pounds, 71% humidity. Okay, but you're also going to notice that it shows no signal. Well, if we click on it, it's going to load this screen. Now this screen doesn't seem to like my phone too much. You can notice that some of the buttons, or all of the buttons, you can't clearly read the words. Well, after communicating with BroodMinder about this, it's something that will be fixed in the next update. But I learned what the buttons were called, and this first one is sync. Okay, so now we're connecting, or trying to connect. Receiving data. And it's been, just a few minutes since I synced data. I went as far as 3 weeks, and it does take a little bit longer for it to, to upload the data to the app when you go that longer period. But it didn't seem to have any problem holding that long period of information on the sensor. There you can see the graphs changed, and you can zoom in and out, on these. And then this here button is to sync to the beekeeping.io website. And it's asking if this is the right apiary, ready to upload 205 samples. And yes, it's Cedar Grove because the hive is in a grove of cedars. Sending data. Data was synced. Processing will be delayed. Okay, and then we just go back, and now we can see that we've got all of the signal dots for the scale, And like I say, that's simply because the scale is outside of the hive, as where the others have to, that signal has to go through all of that wax and wood to get to the device. So that's not a concern to me. So that's some pretty impressive information right there. Okay, so we'll move into the computer now and I'll show you how the information comes up. It's a lot more in depth on the beekeeping.io website. Okay, so we'll zoom in here to the graph real quick. You can see down at the bottom it says January 8th, and you've got the date for the month all the way across, all the way up to my last sync. If you look at the little box that it's highlighted, you can see the hive temperature, the hive humidity, the outside temperature and humidity, and also the weight of the beehive. Now I'm not going to go too into depth on all of this information and how it can be read and used, but basically give you an idea on how it shows up when you have the BroodMinder installed. Now here what I'm doing is I'm going into each individual sensor and you get a breakdown on just that one sensor. This one is between the top, deep, and the medium. And you can see it gives you the same information as far as temperature and humidity for the hive and outside, but it's limited to that one sensor, where as the previous graph showed, that was a combination of all three sensors putting that information together. But we'll get into that in my next BroodMinder video. If you're not subscribed, please take time to do so that you can get that when I release it. And for those of you that do follow me, I appreciate your support. So there's a lot of information there that can be gained with the BroodMinder device. And depending upon your outlook and what you're wanting to do with the information would be up to you. You know, just think about your honey flows, how neat it would be to see how much the bees are gaining per day. Almost had a bee go in my mouth. Wouldn't that have been funny? Made for a good video, huh, folks? Anyway, I'll be doing a lot more videos on the BroodMinder as the situations come about. I'm really wanting to do one on torpor, but we're just not having the prolonged cold periods. We get a cold snap of a day and maybe 4, and then it's over with. I need the bees to cluster tightly and stay tightly so I can run these tests. So until that point, I'm going to be looking for other ways like the honey flow and watching my stores deplete until nectar starts to come into the picture. And you know, there will be a lot of information there that I can gain. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please take time to do so down below. And thanks for watching.